What makes one healing session or practitioner more effective than another? Whether you're a healer yourself or you're taking healing sessions, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 simple but foundational principles to help turbocharge your energy healing. If you've ever seen body code creator Dr. Bradley Nelson demonstrate a session, you'll know he always begins by making a connection with a higher power.
Remember, this work came from up above, so let's take a moment and ask for some help from up above, okay?
That's important because it recognizes and acknowledges that the work we're about to do and the results we're about to achieve are not actually our achievement. It's not as if we each understand the intricacies of how energy healing works, and it's not as if we'd know what to do if it suddenly stopped working for us and didn't come back. Instead, we can present ourselves as a channel for the work. Rather than feeling the need to justify ourselves or prove ourselves to our clients by presenting ourselves as an expert or authority, we can instead share the wonder of the work with them and celebrate its results with them too. When people used to ask Dr. Nelson why this particular imbalance came up in relation to this particular issue, he always used to say, "I don't know, I just work here." If we can have this degree of humility, then we no longer feel the need to be invested in the results to prove ourselves. And when the ego gets out of the way like this, then we can be much more open to being able to receive and make the best use of the power that's available to us.
If you ask for help, then that opens that channel and you can receive that help, okay? If you don't ask for help, then you're on your own.
So how do we make that connection? Each person will find their own way. Personally, I've been a heartfulness meditation practitioner for more than 20 years. And through heartfulness, I've learnt to make a very direct experiential connection with the divine, which is with me most of the time now, and I'm very, very grateful for it. I'd recommend heartfulness to anybody who is remotely interested, but it's also especially good for making that connection at the beginning of a healing session. You can find out more about heartfulness on the Heartful Healing website, and heartfulness is always completely free. So if making the connection gives us access to the universal power that enables this work to be successful, we then need to direct that power. And we do that by making a very clear and very focused intention on the result that we want to achieve. And we need to maintain that connection as well. It's not something that we just do at the beginning and then forget about and do the work mechanically. This is an active process. And I always ask my clients to join me in it, to add the power of their consciousness to the work as well. I found in my own experience that I was having really wonderful results when I was working on other people, but when I was working on myself, not much seemed to happen. And then I understood that the reason for that was that when I was working on myself, I was much less connected. I took less time to make that connection. I was less focused in my intention. And often I was just walking down the street and doing other things at the same time. And of course, if I do that, the results are going to be less powerful. So when we're making an intention, what specifically should we be focusing on? If somebody comes to us with, say, depression or knee pain, we want to help them, so we might think that it's a good idea to focus on letting them be free from the depression or free from the knee pain. But there's a problem with that. When we frame it in that way, we're actually making the focus of the intention the very thing that we want to be rid of. There's an old saying, where attention goes, energy flows. Our thought makes what we're focusing on more powerful. In that case, it would make a lot more sense to focus on the positive, to focus on the result that the client wants to achieve. So I'd work with each client to try to find out what the end result was. Why do they want to be free of the depression or the knee pain? What do they want as a result? One person with depression, for example, might envisage going into a room and feeling warmth and love from all of the people in it and feeling love for them. The person with knee pain might envisage running a marathon or jogging through the countryside, feeling the wind going through his hair and hearing it in his ears as he runs past. It's these experiences that we want to focus on, because it's these experiences and not the words that we put around them that direct the work. I made a video some time ago that you can find on the Heartful Healing YouTube channel about how to create powerful affirmations, how we should frame them, what sorts of words we should use. Now that is important because it sets the scene for what we're going to feel, but as I explain in the video, it's the feelings that we can generate around the results that we want to achieve that are important in getting the results. The great Greg Braden told a really good story about when he went to the Colorado desert to meet a tribe leader who was about, so he thought, to pray for rain because there'd been a drought and they were having a lot of problems. So he said to the tribe leader, "So when are we going to pray for rain?" And the tribe leader said, "What do you mean? I'm not going to pray for rain. If I pray for rain, that's the one thing that I can do to ensure that I'll never get rain. Because by praying for rain, I'm putting my attention on the fact that we don't have rain, and I'm ensuring that that continues." And Greg Braden said, "Well, that's really interesting. What are you going to do?" And he said, "What I'm going to do is close my eyes and imagine as realistically as I possibly can what it will feel like when the rain comes, what it will feel like on my skin when the raindrops are rolling down it, what my feet will feel as they're walking through the mud and sinking into it, what I'll smell in the air when the rain falls on the plants." So he did that, and that night there was the first rain that they'd had for many, many months. And he showed a clip of the weather forecast on the local television station the next morning, and the weather forecaster was flabbergasted because it seems that a small band of rain broke away from all the other rain clouds, went down a very, very unlikely path towards the exact spot where the prayer had happened. It rained and then it moved back and continued its old trajectory. It was something that was remarkable and couldn't be explained except through the prayer that this person made. And as he explained, the prayer isn't the words, the feeling that he generated in himself. That is what the prayer is, and that's what we can use in our energy healing to direct the results that we want. So thank you for watching. This was the first of the series of healing videos that I'm planning to make. I'm hoping there'll be a lot more over time. To make sure you're notified of any more that come up, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. It would be brilliant if you could like this video on YouTube, if you could share it with anybody who you think it might be useful for, and wonderful if you could join the conversation by commenting below. Thanks very much, and see you next time.